If you clicked on this video, you suck at Smash Ultimate. But let me tell you why. If I'm being honest with you, I suggest you stick for the entire video because as someone who VOD reviews and practices with players of all skill levels, I know a lot about what makes a successful player and what makes an unsuccessful player and what is probably holding you back right now. Number one, you don't practice enough. There's 82 characters in this game. 82, and that's not counting like stance change, like Power Mithra, Pokemon Trainer, all that. There's 82 characters in this game, and you aren't practicing. What makes you think you're going to be ready for a tournament, let alone like a major tournament? One of the excuses I hear from mid-level players all the time is that they complain like, oh man, I lost to this Joker player, I didn't know the matchup. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know the Joker matchup? They complain about losing to characters like Palutena, Roy, Joker, Wolf, Chrom, these insanely popular characters that are literally everywhere and they don't know the matchup. That's how I know you don't be on this game for real. Now listen, I'm not 13 years old. I understand, some people got stuff to do. Not everyone is some high schooler like Didi who's sitting in his room playing for 8 hours a day, every single day. Not everyone can do that. Some people have jobs, or some people are in college, or just some people have larger workloads, stuff that they gotta do, man. Some of y'all got a family, man. But what's important for you to understand is it's not about how much time you have, it's about how effectively you use the time, right? A lot of you guys, when I see you guys practice, you hop on and you play randoms, or you play mains, but you play aimlessly. When you play, especially when you practice, you need to practice with a purpose. There needs to be a specific thing that you want to get better at, that you want to take away, and when you do that, you will, I promise, you will find your practice sessions to be much more productive if you just take the time to hone in on what you really want to get better at, and you use each and every session to get better at that one thing. The second reason why you suck at Smash, your autopilot is really bad. Now let me explain something to you that happens to be a misconception among a lot of low and mid-level players, right? Autopiloting is a good thing. As a matter of fact, everyone autopilots. MKLeo autopilots, Spargo autopilots, I autopilot, you autopilot. But the difference between me and you and these players is that they have honed their autopilot. Let me explain something to you, right? This is something that every top player understands, or just every really good player in this game understands, right? The more you think about a decision, the better that decision will be, no? Because you thought about it more. But the more you think about a decision, it may be a better decision because it's more thought out, but it'll be slower. Whereas the less you think about a decision, the faster it'll be, but the worse it'll be because you didn't think about it. Now, what if I told you that there was a way that you could think about everything in a match and make only good decisions, but you could do them fast? It sounds impossible, right? But it's completely possible. But it's only possible if you hone your autopilot. When you go and you play against a Wolf player, right? You need to think about this player's win conditions in comparison to your character's win conditions, right? And wherever your win conditions intersect, that is where your characters will interact and they'll hit each other, right? And if you practice a matchup and you understand these win conditions and you get to a point where you can kind of control these interactions, you'll see yourself absolutely dogging on everyone you play against. If you can get really good and win these interactions where you intersect with each other at like a 60 or 70% win, you literally will not lose. And the only way for you to hone your autopilot is to come in with very well studied game plans for every single character in the game. And the only way you're gonna be able to do that is if you practice. And I promise you, every top player, they might not have a perfect game plan for every single character in the game, but they have game plans for the most popular characters in the game and the ones that give them the most trouble. I promise you, Light has a very specific game plan that he has for Game & Watch. That's a matchup that he struggles in right now because the matchup isn't great for his character. I'm sure he has a game plan that he sticks to that is very well thought out and very refined. And as he's playing, because the game plan is so worked into his muscle memory, he can play it without thinking. That's his autopilot. And then he can focus on what his opponent is doing. So he understands how he needs to move around Game & Watch. And now All he has to do is look at how his opponent is responding to his game plan and then respond accordingly. And that is how adaptation happens. Adaptation isn't just sitting in every single game with a blank state, looking at what your opponent is doing and trying to counter it on the fly. That's not going to work. What's going to happen is it might work for like 30 seconds and then you're going to immediately fry your brain, especially if you're playing against characters that are extremely complex and have a lot of things going on, like Steve or Olimar. Like, you're literally going to get fried. It's going to be bad. And the third reason why you suck at Smash Ultimate, and this actually goes for a lot of players, even at the highest level of play, your mentality is really bad, man. Now listen to me, right? Rome was not built in a day, right? A lot of the times we look at newer players, and when I mean newer, I mean like newer within like the last 5 years, and we think that they have like this crazy innate talent, that they were just born to play this game, like they never had like flop areas where they like weren't good. A lot of people say that about Light, right? We see Light at the end of Smash 4, right? And he starts beating all these people, and then Ultimate comes out, and he's been the top 10 player for all of Ultimate, amazing player. But Light had to take some L's to get where he's at now. But the thing is about Light is he took the L's and he learned from them, and he got better, and he progressively got better. And then at that Smash 4 boot camp, he showed everybody who he was, and he's been a mainstay in the competitive scene for Smash ever since. Nothing in life in general will come easy. You're going to need to work at it. Another thing that a lot of people with bad mentals do, they constantly compare themselves. I'm gonna give you another example, right? Imagine someone like Zayn, right? Zayn, in the context of Melee, is a newer Melee player. He is fresh Melee blood. Like, Zayn is a doc kid, unironically. He's literally a doc kid. And if Zayn went to his first major, right? I think his first major was SmashCon or something like that. If he went to his first major and he gets dog walked by like Mango or some top 10 player, and he's like, man, this guy's been playing for as long as I've been alive. He's just so good. I'm just never gonna be able to catch up. Then Zayn would never have become #1 player in the world Zayn if he constantly compared himself. All you have to do is keep your head down and just constantly get better and better and better. Slowly but surely, you will climb the mountain and you'll get better. And the last thing you need to understand, if you have a bad mentality, there will always be more Smash to be played. A lot of people, when they go to especially majors, it's especially prevalent at majors, they have this like do or die mentality. Like, if I don't get top 8 or if I don't beat this player right now, it's over. My career is over. I'm never gonna have an opportunity like this ever again. The game is gonna like die like after this tournament. There's always going to be another tournament. Smash isn't going anywhere. Ultimate isn't going anywhere, and there's probably gonna be a new game, and when that game comes out, it's gonna be even bigger and better than this one. Hopefully there'll be more money. There'll definitely be more tournaments because the games just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Think about how many tournaments there are in Melee. Think about how many tournaments there were when Smash 4 came out, like newer tournaments, and think about how many newer tournaments there are now. There's a major every single weekend. Sometimes they double schedule majors on the same weekend for the entire year. Do you know how insane that is? There is no shortage of opportunities for you to compete and show the world how good you are. But if you constantly go into every single tournament thinking that this is gonna be the last time you ever play, instead of playing well, you're gonna be playing extremely stressed, and you're just not going to play at your best. You will play at your best when you're smooth and you're calm and you're collected. But if you're going to every single tournament being like, this is the only time I'm ever gonna be able to play, I need to do it now, or I'm never gonna get to do it again, then you're just gonna fumble. Well, hopefully, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know one of these things apply to you, so if I spoke to you, I need you to go and I need you to fix it now, man. I'm trying to see some new people on this stage. Like, I played Light at MomoCon. Dude, Light ain't even that good, man. Some of y'all need to start beating him. He's not nice like that, bro. All right, but anyway, bye. You have a nice day.